Welcome to this tutorial on how to create a neon sign effect. Now, first step we're going to do is go and pick a background wall. So we've done a search for that and just typed brick wallpaper. So that's given us a nice brick effect there. Now, first thing I do is just delete the background layer there, and we can just deal with our main layer here and just call this brick wall. So next thing to do is, if you come up to image and click adjustments and then click on the hue saturation, you've got a couple of settings here that you can change. The lightness should be down to -80 and the saturation should be down to -40, and we just click OK for that. Now the next thing we want to do is add a new layer, and we just click that there, and we come up to filter and render and then clouds. And this gives us a cloud effect on top of our first brick layer. So what you need to do now is apply a color dodge blend, and as you can see that gives us just a little bit of light round the corners and round the edges of the main brick image. Now then we want to go to the eraser tool and click up here. Let's just check what the settings are. We need to make sure the hardness is 0 for the tool, which it is, and then just make sure the circles are big enough to go round the edges, because we just want to darken up the edges there. Just so we're focused a bit more in the middle and where the light is happening. Just a couple of spots around there. That looks perfect. So next we need to pick out a font. So all you do is add a new layer. Oh, don't need to add a new layer. Automatically a new layer should be selected for us when we use the font tool. So we're just going to click there and just make an area where the font is going to be applied. Now I'm going to take an easy font to use, Arial, but you can select from all the other fonts that are available. There's some good ones, but I'm just going to keep it simple and make an Arial one. So there, we're just going to click Arial, and we're just going to write neon sign. Just make that a bit bigger there so that fits in. There we go. So that's just got our neon sign lettering. Just position that in the middle. So next we're going to duplicate the text layer. Just right click on the text layer and click OK, and apply a filter. I'm just going to apply another Gaussian blur. Just click OK. Now the Gaussian blur here has to be pixel 12. That gives us our nice shiny background there. And then we right click on just make sure that we're on the right layer here, on the text layer, yep. So come down onto the text layer here. Just going to move that up there and right click and select blending options. Now we're going to have the fill capacity here down to 0, and then if we click in drop shadow, we're going to change the angle to -90. The distance should be 10. the size should be 30. And then we move down to the inner shadow, and we're going to change the blend mode to color burn, which is there, and the opacity should be at 100, and the size should be 10. So there we can go, we can see we're already starting to look like quite a cool effect there. So next part we go to is the outer glow, and we're going to change the blend mode to color dodge again. Before we had color burn, so this time it's color dodge. So now we need to just select the color here, just so we've got the white light neon effect around the signage. And then we go down to the bevel and emboss section. Now here you need to change the settings to depth of 50, and soften should be at 15, and then we can OK that. Now next, I have to come back in the blend options, there's one bit we forgot, which was the colour overlay. Now here we need to make this white, and then linear dodge add for the blend mode, and take the opacity down to 45. There we go. We've got a nice see-through signage coming through there, and then we can just click OK there. So there we go. Now next thing we need to do is just duplicate the layer here, and then just bring the opacity down to about 45. This just gives us oh no, it should be 50. This just gives us just a little bit of a shine through, as you can see there. It just lights it up a little more. So the next thing is duplicate the layer again, and this time we're going to right click and select clear layer style at the bottom here. So there we go. We'll bring that up, so that's like our original signage coming back, and we're going to apply a blur to this. Our Gaussian blur, and then for this one we're going to apply 100, and we'll just click OK there. So there you go, that adds like just a little bit of light sort of around the corners there and the edges, just to make it look like it's shining through. Now the next thing we're going to have to do is, if you come down to where your text is, because we're going to be doing a new layer underneath the text, and we're just going to call that the parts that we connect to the wall with. So all you need to do with this is just come and select the brush tool, make sure the hardness is at 100, and the size of the tool should equal about the size of the font. So that looks about right there, so we'll just zoom in here and we'll just click our little marks here just against where the letters be connected to the wall. Very simple, you just need a couple at each point. go. And that should be us. Yep, that looks pretty good. Yep, see, that gives us just a bit more of a 3D effect. So if you're wanting to change the colour or anything on this layer, all you need to do is come up and select Image, Adjustments and Hue and Saturation. Now if you play around with the hue, this will change the colour. Oh, not under that layer, we need to change it to the main text layer it should be. So Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and then as we change the hue, you can see that the text colour changes to different colours. That's quite a nice one. I actually like the pink one. So there we go, I'm going to go with the pink one. Although we've got a bit of a blue effect sort of round the back, so we can easily change that and just come up to our blur that we used, and just come up to the Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and just again just play around with the blur a bit more there with the hue. So there we go, we're going to add in a bit of a pink effect there, that's a bit too bright. There we go. So there we go, that's how to create a neon sign and how to change the colours. Hope you liked this tutorial and thanks for watching.